Hey, hello guys, good afternoon. You are welcome once again to this beautiful and wonderful channel. You are welcome to Catfish Solution Place and Academy. Once again, my name still remains Odutola Isa Abiodun DTM, your great uncle on this channel. Yeah, and as you are watching from the screen, I think this is the part 4, right? Yeah, this is the part 4 of our great topic, how to become a successful usher. Note, Hatchery is the primary, I will call it the primary level of catfish raising. That means catfish rearing. That is the primary level of catfish rearing. That means the base of catfish rearing. And hatchery is one of the most tedious and one of the most profitable aspect of catfish farming for those of us who really want to go into catfish farming. But presently, it's like a submerge. It's like we don't really give kudos to the hatchers. We only give kudos to the catfish rearers. Yeah, maybe because the catfish rearers are the most capitalist on the business. I will say that because raising a catfish now is highly expensive, which I will still be talking to you more on about how to make profit in catfish rearing on my previous on one of my video I will release very soon. Yeah, because I call them capitalists, that means to raise 1,000 pieces of fish at present and to give you an average weight of 1 kilo, I bet you'll be spending nothing less than 900,000 naira to do that. You can see that is very expensive. So that means if you are having like 10,000 pieces of fishes, you'll be spending nothing less than 8 million naira in order to do that. So you can see that catfish rearer are the capitalists. Maybe that is why it is popular. Why I'm saying this is that when we do talk about catfish farming, the first thing that comes to our mind is table size, forgetting the primary aspect of catfish farming, which is even more the profitable and more tedious part of catfish farming. So that's why I say we need to give kudos to our breeder. So I was talking about how can you become successful as a catfish breeder, as a catfish hatcher. This is same thing, yeah. And from my previous video, from my part 1, part 2, part 3, you can see the demo from the background. And presently I'm still at Ibadan, Oluyole. That is where precisely that's what I was born. I'm born in Ibadan, and I would say this is a very beautiful and wonderful city to be in. It's a city that reduces stress because there are a lot of happy people there. So I'm in Ibadan presently in a farm with my boss. I show you from the part 1 when the client visited us in our place before we moved out for the hatchery. And what we do is that we try to take alongside some brewster for the breeding process. And if you want to become a successful hatcher, you need to take your time to do what? To get things right 100%. That means at your own part. Yeah, you need to get things right 100%, and you now leave the rest 100% for God. It is important to do that, to nature, to take control. So what I mean by this is that when you get to a farm, or even is your farm, the first thing to see is to check all the water. As you can see from the background, I checked all the water from the filtration system I built there, because we built that filtration system ourselves. So by the time what I did is that when I noticed that the filtration system have some little iron and the turbidity is a little bit higher, I need to flush out the filtration system and wash it before the hatchery process. And I need to take care of because despite the filtration system, because of the iron and the high volume of materials in the water like salt and coal, which we call the total dissolved solid in the water, in order to reduce it a little, I will have to put double filter in order to reduce it more. That is what you can get. We try to do this in order to achieve result. It is important. It is important for you to know how to achieve result and how to take care of your best practice. Yeah, we call it the total best practice. The total best practice is one to check every inch of your hatchery room, every inch of your hatchery parameters to make sure that everything is clean. And for the background, as you can see, I took my time to test all the water. I test for the pH, I test for the alkalinity, I test for the hardiness, I test for the water conductivity, I test for the salinity, I test for the water total dissolved solid. You can see how voluminous this is. So, and checking it, I make sure that I did the testing about 2 to 3 times to make sure the water is accurate. That means the water in the vat, because that is the water that will determine the success of our hatchery. Yeah, that will determine the success of your hatchery. So if you can't get all the parameters, if you don't have kit to test for all the parameters, it is important for you to get the kit to test the most important parameters that you can be rest assured that you are getting it right as a best practice. So after you might have checked the water, please, you need to check the outlet and the inlet, the placement of the outlet and the inlet of your vat. This is important. It is important. You need to check that, and you need to check what after the outlet. You need to know the type of net you are using for the outlet, so that some of the fryers will not escape. There are a lot of farms that I've visited, that I've consulted, and they put most of the blame on fishes. That if we hatch 1 week, we lose most of our fishes. But by the end of the day, you will discover that the mortality comes from mismanagement of the vat. So what I mean by mismanagement of the vat is that the vat may be leaking out fishes because the fryers are very, very small, and if you leave the fryers in a leaked outlet within 1 week, you will just discover that the number of fryers you have is just reducing until you get nothing. So from the background, what we do is that we want to do the hatchery process now. We want to start the spawning process, because the fish we bought, I injected the fish from Lagos. Maybe because of the temperature, the fish delayed. That's why I said you need to understand your latency period and your incubating period. You need to take cognizance of your temperature. So that means if you are running a farm and you don't have what we call a temperature kit, you need to get it. You need to get a temperature kit. It is important because this will determine your latency period and your incubating period. But when we are coming in the morning, because I injected it and I followed the latency period, but the fish delayed because of the air condition in the car. So the air condition in the car, when by the time I will put the fish out from the car, the temperature ran very low, and conveniently I have to put the fishes in the sun with another water, so that ash water in the sun, so that the fishes can still meet up a little bit. So you can see how that determined. That is just for those of us, maybe we hatched or we injected and we thought the fishes did not ready. Maybe we gave the fishes about 8 hours, and after 8 hours the fish did not ready, and you try to force the fish for your spawning. Please, if you force any fish for the spawning, it will never give you any result, because the fishes, the egg may be stressed, and this will affect your hatchery process. So you don't force. So that's why sometimes you need to hold on. Maybe you have to hold on for 1 hour or 2 hours, and you lift up your female brooster the way I lifted it up now, and the egg himself we started dilating. That means we started dropping from the fishes. So when you notice that the egg is dropping himself, that tells you the fish is totally ready for the spawning process. So once the fish is start ready, the next thing to do is to collect the mint. from the male broodstock. That is what I'm doing on the background. Those are the principle. Please, the principle here in this video is your water. Check for all the parameters in your water that you can lay your hands on. So that is why it's advisable to get the necessary kit to do that. Text for the temperature of your water, and if you noticed that you are having problem with your pH, please try to get a water correctant to do that before you even put it in the incubator. And if you are having problem with your alkalinity, try to get your reversed material to do that, or you can go on the reverse osmosis process, which is the science process for reversing alkalinity. So make sure that that is done. And if you are having high turbidity, high total dissolved solid, high conductivity in your water, make sure that you correct that by automated filtrating system to make sure that that is done. And if you are having maybe you're having ammonia, your water has your ammonia in your water, please make sure that you aerate your water before usage. And if you are having water, maybe your water is the salinity of your water, that will go through the filtration system too as well. So there is no problem without solution. And if you noticed that your water, the oil in your water is much, that means your water has oil in heat, so ion, sorry. So what you do is that there's a process of the filtration system that can help you in order to remove and reduce the oil that can be suitable for your fishes. So everything takes process. So after you might have done that, you strip, you check for the male sperm of your egg. It is important for you to, if you want to hatch maybe 2 females or 3 females and you are using 1 male, it is advisable for you to have at least another extra male, because male fumbles a lot, so that in case the sperm fumbles, you can replace the sperm with another sperm that will do the job for you. This is very, very important. That is what you are watching from the background. From this background, we dissected over 4 males, and we can only have good sperm from 2 that we are going to use for our female. One of the female is around 3.5 and the second is around 2 kilo. That means we are having about 5.5 kg of a female broodstock to be used. And since I am satisfied with what I got for the productions, the next thing to do is to go into the stripping period, and that is the stripping period. So after you might have stripped, the next thing to do is to mix the mint into the eggs, the collected eggs. So after you might have mixed the mint into the collected eggs, you will see the process as you go. The next thing to do is for you to go and spread the eggs. So spreading the eggs is when you enter what we call the incubating period, and the incubating period depend on the weather, takes above 24 hours depending on the weather. If you want to get most and more of the clue of being a professional hatcher, you can order from my ebook on Hatchery, and you can order for our e-video on Hatchery. This will take you through all that process in GV. And if you need our mentorship, we mentor, we visit farm, we consult in your farm, we do trainings, and we enlighten your staffs. We take there, we tell them what to do. We reorganized your farm for easy accessing. We advise you on how to do things that can give you profit. So once again, my name still remains Odutola Isa Abiodun, DTM, the great anchor on this channel. So thank you, and God bless you all.